Hey everyone, thanks for watching the Get Your Mind Right podcast. I'm Brian Mendez, President CEO of Family First Life Central Division. Guys, please like, comment, subscribe, and follow us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, or any other place you watch your podcast. Enjoy, guys. Thanks for watching. All right, guys, thank you for joining us on the Get Your Mind Right podcast. I got a special guest with us today, Edward Mendez. Give him a round of Round of applause, baby. Hey, man, I appreciate you jumping on, man. I know you're extremely busy. Hey, where are you out of, man?
San Antonio, Texas.
Okay, and you're with FFL Extraordinary, is that right?
That is correct.
Oh, man. Hey, do me a favor, man. Tell me, you've been with FFL for 18 months now, right?
That is correct.
Tell me what this journey's been like for you so far.
Man, it's been extraordinary. First and foremost, man, thank you. Thank you for your time and thank you for allowing me to be here with you. I know for the longest, whenever I first started this journey 18 months ago, you were one of the first videos that I watched relentlessly. I told myself, man, I found a couple of things in common with you. You work out and you came from the fitness industry as well. And you just had this passion of serving and loving people, right? And I was like, dude, if I can relate to somebody, is this guy? He doesn't even know me, but I can relate to this dude. Wow. And I love your approach on your in-home approach, right? With the families and how bold and serving you were to families, right? And still are. But I'll never forget, man, that one video about you doing about the ID, right? About the bloody ID. And I remember I was listening to that video probably about 10 times and I wrote everything down because I wanted to make sure that I become really good as you. And I remember when I first went into my second or third appointment, I used it. I was nervous. I used it and it worked.
Wow.
Right. And it worked. And every day I just became better and better at using it. As we grew an agency, I started sharing that story with everybody and I started sharing your video with everybody. So first and foremost, I just want to thank you for putting yourself out there. Wow. And just sharing with everybody what you're doing, your steps, because it really does help people, especially helps more people than you think. So first and foremost.
Hey, man, I got to tell you, I'm so humble right now, man. Like, that makes me happy that it was able to help somebody, I get up there and I'm wide open, man. I'm just pouring my heart out when I train, and it's just good to see somebody take advantage of it and go crush it. You know what I mean? So, and your people will be able to crush it too, which is exciting.
Definitely.
Hey, let me ask you, how many families did you end up helping last year?
Man, last year, how many families that I ended up helping? It was right over 450 families.
Wow.
First full year in the business. Did I ever think about doing insurance? No. However, me walking away from the car business and starting to do insurance, something where I felt like I was really serving and being there and bringing value to a family, man, it has been an adventure. And now I get to share that with many other agents. And it's been a blessing. It's been a blessing.
So did you start, did you hit the ground, killing it, crushing it from the beginning, or did you have some struggles?
Man, I think like most people, the one thing that I did wrong, and I say wrong because I came into this business with money in the bank account, right? I did very, very well for myself in the car business. And I came in here with the thought process of, I'm just going to invest $500 in myself, right? And this $500 will have to turn to $5,000, right? Because that's what people say. So it has to be that way. And if it doesn't turn out to be $5,000, then this is a scam. It doesn't work, right? And reality is I didn't believe in me completely, right? Because I was so used to my comfort zone. My comfort zone was, hey, I know that I can do 25 to 30 grand in the car business. Could I really do that in insurance, right? And I didn't really believe 100% in me that I started with 500 and I cheated myself, right? I cheated myself that first month. But then I had sat down with Chadwick and I told Chadwick, I said, look, dude, I'm going to give it 12 months, but I just want the truth. How much are you investing a week? And what do you really do? Like, give me the truth and then get out of my way. And then I'll commit for 12 months regardless if it gets hard, if it gets really good, if it gets, regardless of the storms and the struggles. I'll commit for 12 months and I will not quit. Right. And that was it for me, man. I started to invest 1,100 to 1,500 to 2 grand a week. And the rest became really history now.
That's crazy. One thing that's pretty funny, Edwin, is now do you like Edwin? Do you like that, or do you like? I'm sorry, Edward. Do you like Edward, or do you like Ed?
Well, you can call me Edward. Everybody calls me ETE, but I think Edward sounds better.
EE. What's that stand for?
Man, simple, man. ETE is a brand that I created a while back, and it's expect the extraordinary. I believe that we should expect the extraordinary first and foremost out of God, out of our day, and most importantly, expect the extraordinary in delivering extraordinary in everything that we do.
That's so dope. That's so dope. So no, the thing that's funny to me is I started the same exact way. I think it's like something like a roadblock that we have with ourselves. I started with $500. I'm like, that's a lot of money to me. See, I started with a practice company. Nobody wanted to spend any money on leads. Like $200 was a lot. So I started spending 500 and I thought it was a big deal. And then I had somebody challenge me, like you had Chadwick challenge you. Well, I had Mark Mead challenge me, and he was laughing at me that $500 was nothing. And I'm looking at him like, what are you talking about, Willis? Like, so I actually, I started spending 2 grand, but I spent 2 grand every week for the whole year. And I ended up spending 100 grand on leads, but I ended up helping about 533 families for the year. So, and when you do the numbers, I know a lot of people, they might watch this podcast and not understand families helped, but on average, so they understand, every family that you go and help, on average, it's about $1,000. I can't guarantee that everybody sees the same results, but that's how the numbers work out. So just do the math. It's pretty exciting. And helping that many people was pretty cool, right? So tell me some things that, like, you got a team that you're hiring. You got a bunch of guys coming on board helping families right now? Talk to me a little bit about your team. What are you excited about with your team?
Man, what am I excited about the team? Very simple, man. Being able to see a lot of the guys grow from having small confidence to growing in this fire of confidence, and being able to have that joy of being able to go out to families and help them out, right? And not just thinking about, hey, I gotta go make a paycheck, or I have to go make a commission. Right now, it's more of the fact like, hey, I get to go serve. Having guys that never done insurance, right, and calling me, telling me, dude, I just helped out an agent. I just helped out a family, right? Or yesterday, I had a gentleman. I was at the gym at 9 o'clock at night, and he calls me, tells me, I protected 2 families, but my third family was my favorite. And I said, why? He says, maybe I didn't put a policy in place for that family because they already were in a good place, but I had the opportunity to pray for them. I had the opportunity to share the gospel, and we prayed and we hugged and we cried. And he goes, that was the best moment of my life. And to me, that's what brings me excitement. It's the culture that we have created in our agency. It's one that we truly go out and we serve people, and we share the gospel, and we pray for people. And then we come with one another and we help each other, and we grow this culture about how do we bring the kingdom of heaven into our business and sharing it out into families. And that's been working phenomenal. So that's the thing that gets me very excited about the way our business is growing.
Exciting, man. You got me excited, man. I got goosebumps, man.
So let me ask you this. Whenever you started, because I know a lot of agents that I've seen, not only with our agency, but others around, they've come to places where, it gets a little tough, right? And that's the part that a lot of them tend to quit, right? Because maybe they didn't complete the full protection of the client, and that client decides to go somewhere else and they cancel a policy, or they just start getting on their own heads, right? What did you do, or what is your steps that you tend to do to make sure that you discipline your mind to be focused and to know that every day you're going to go out and do something regardless of the outcome? You're going to be focused on staying committed to your goals.
I got to tell you, one of the biggest thing that's really helped me is I never let my highs get too high. I never let my lows get too low. And I realized that I'm going to go out there and sometimes get my teeth punched down my throat. Right? I'm going to have those days where I get tons of no-shows, one-leggers, and I might not sell anything for the whole day, but I had 10 appointments, right? But I know those hard days are nothing but putting in the paycheck. I'm putting in the work. I'm putting in all the deposits up front so that those days that I have a day where every single person tells me yes, I already put in the work with all the no's. Does that make sense? Like they're coming. I also knew that, and somebody taught me this. When you have failures, those aren't failures. Those are many small failures, and you're getting one step closer to success. People think that success is just boom, success right away. But real success is failure, 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 then a little success. Failure, You'll never get to the success you want without failure. So I kind of embraced it. Once I realized that I can embrace the failure to get to the success, it made it all make sense for me, man.
Man, that is outstanding. So let me ask you this then. How would you share that with somebody that maybe has not had that type of discipline or that understanding, or maybe has had a mentor that has shared that concept with them, and they're probably new, they probably came from a regular job, and now they go into this type of industry where you become self-employed, right? You are yourself cheerleader in a sense. How would you share that with that individual so he or she can say, you know what, I'm going to pick up on these keys so I can put them into action so I can succeed by serving more and more families out there in the field?
Honestly, man, I would tell them exactly what I just said, but more importantly, I would tell them to trust the process. When I say trust the process, like it's proven. Like Ed, like you're proof. A lot of other people are proof. Look around at how many people helped over 400 families last year. There's people that helped 1,000 families last year, 1,400 families, personal on their own pen. There's agencies that help thousands of them a month. This is working. And if it's working for other people, why can't it work for you? Now, do I promise everybody gets the same results? No. But if you're willing to give it your all, I don't think that you can really fail if you give it your all. If you're willing to stay committed to the dialing the phone, if you're willing to stay committed to investing in leads so that you can dial the phone and protecting your dial time, and then going and sitting with the clients and serving them, right? And not caring about being judged. When people can get over the fear of being judged, the fear of investing money, and have the business acumen to understand that they need to pour into themselves, and this is their business, it's a wrap. See, I worked at LA Fitness. Ed, I worked at LA Fitness. I was working 12-hour days, 6, sometimes 7 days a week. And with those 7 days a week, I'm doing that for somebody else's dream, somebody else's passion, making somebody else filthy rich. But when you come and work for yourself, it's, well, I only got 40 hours. Imagine if you gave it the same type of intensity that you were giving it at your last job here. What would happen?
Man, that's phenomenal. So I think, anybody that listens to this, I think the biggest key that you should get out of it is, man, trust the process. And the one thing that I share with all of our agents, I believe that this business is a confidence business, right? Because at the end of the day, whenever you walk into a client's home, I believe that the client is looking to see, can I trust you? Can I trust you that you're going to be able to deliver that check to my family the day that I pass? Because once I'm dead, like, I can't come back. I cannot come back and keep you accountable, right, for your promise. And that's the one thing that I share with all of the agents is, man, just like you mentioned, trust the process and grow confidence in yourself to know that what you have is just real. What you have is not just, this is not a fake illusion or the scam. I'll never forget my first client that passed, and I was just surprised. And I was like, wow, what do I do now, right? And I knew that I had that moment. I remember the client when I was in their house, and I knew that I had to deliver, right? This was my time for me to deliver, and how we were about, being in touch with the family, getting process A through Z until they had their check, and just the family, they had that relief of, wow, like not that long ago, probably 5 months prior, we put in
Crazy.
this policy. 5 months later, not thinking that 5 months later was going to come to this end, but 5 months later, that individual passed, and now this policy comes to life. And seeing their joy, and I share that with the agents because, like, dude, this is real. Like,
Yeah.
this is real, and I get excited, man. I get really, really excited because I'm like, dude, I finally found something
Mhm.
that truly brings peace and comfort to other people. And I know that whenever I walk into my house, I know that I can tell myself, E, you did the right thing today. So, man, I'm glad you're sharing that, and I'm glad that people, hopefully, you get in those concepts that trust the process, just trust it.
That's awesome. Hey, man, to piggyback on what you said, and I don't want to touch it because it was so freaking good, right? I'll tell you this. When you talk about going in the house and like, I believe you're fighting for the people. I believe that you challenge them. And when you challenge them, they're looking at that. First, you're providing structure. People like to be led, right? But then when you challenge them, they look at it like, hey, this guy's willing to challenge me. He's also the same guy that's willing to stand up for my family. And so when something does happen, he's going to I always say, I'm going to put my foot on the insurance company's throat and make sure we get this family paid quick. And that's what they want to know. They want to know that you're going to fight for them. And dude, I love that you do that, man. Hey, listen, man, you are crushing it. Continue to crush it. Let me ask you this, man. If they saw this, they're new into insurance, or they're working at their practice company, getting paid a low comp, no renewals, right? They're paying for training. They're doing all this crazy stuff when they could start here and get taken care of. If they see you and say, hey, I like this guy, I want to work with him, where would they find you?
Man, they can just call me directly or text me at 713-493-1650. And let me just share something with you. One thing that I share with a lot of people that I make it very simple. I believe in simplicity, right? And the one thing that I've shared with anybody that is with a different IMO, getting at a lower comp level, I share a story that goes something like this. Imagine that you and we have a bag of cookies, right? And we have a dozen of cookies, and we're going to go to this neighborhood, and I go to a house 115, you go to a house 116. We both walk in, we both knock, we both walk in, we both sell this bag of cookies. The bag of cookies was $5, right? We both come out, we go to our manager, or we go to the manager, and we tell the manager, here's $5. I sold a dozen of cookies. You get 30 or 40%, they're going to give you $2, right? You get $2. My manager says, you sold the bag of cookies. Here's a whole $5, 100% of your worth you're going to receive back. At the end of the day, both products were good to the client, right? The question is, are you okay with getting $2? Or should you knowing that you can get $5, are you okay with telling your children, telling your wife, hey, I left $3 behind, so my other people, my upline or my manager, they can take that to their wives or their children? Like, how are you okay with that? Me personally, I'm like a lion. I protect my family, I protect my wife, I protect my children, and I protect our agency. And if I know that I can prevent somebody to having that capital to their own homes, like, why wouldn't you, right? So I give people that perspective, and it gives them that understanding, like, wow, $3 that I'm just going to give to somebody else, that I can give that to my kids or my wife, right? Or my husband and my kids.
Dude, that's the definition of lion share. I love it, man. Hey, thank you for jumping on, man. I appreciate your time. Keep crushing it, man. I'm proud of you.
Appreciate you as well.
All right, man. Take it easy.